What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below, or use my QR code right here to sign up. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 of free Nvidia stock. If you deposit $2,000, you're going to get $50 worth of Nvidia. Deposits $10,000 to get $300 worth of the stock, or deposits $50,000 more to get $1,000 of free Nvidia. You're also going to qualify for a 3.6% APY base rate plus a 4.5% APY extra for 3 months, making it a total of an 8.1% APY. So with that being said, please check out my link down below to sign up. Anyways, NIO was hit with some negative news today, which caused the share price to dip a bit, and we have to try to reclaim 6.75. If we don't, there's going to be a risk of us returning back down to the mid $6 area, back down towards that 6.4 area. So what's happening? There's been some news coming out that despite the fact that we saw a nice increase in their overall sales data, there's been some concerns about their margins, which is raising alarms for some analysts, and they are once again casting doubt on NIO's ability to achieve profitability because of the competition going on in China. And because of that, we're seeing a little bit of fear that's coming out, at least thus far. On top of this, it looks like we also have earnings coming out on November 19th, so we're going to see if there's signs of improvement or not. And on top of this, I just want to add on that despite that, they are once again broadening their scope in overseas countries as they shipped over 431 vehicles. That's double the volume we saw in the month of September for the month of October. Despite that, we're going to see what happens with their margins. There are some concerns about them, so hopefully NIO does well and they could kind of like overcome a lot of the risks. On top of this, we're not really seeing much on their X page. They're just talking about the Chinese International Import Expo. And overall, the share price is down about 1%, which is not that bad, but overall, it's still showing some weakness. Now, there was some good news that came out. Basically, we saw that the Senate, they basically passed an agreement to reopen the government. And this is going to be passing on it to the U.S. House of Representatives. So as soon as tomorrow, we could be looking for a vote from the House, which would send the overall agreement to President Trump, who said that he supports the overall deal. That could help reopen the government in just a couple of days. That's some massive news. On top of this, AMD's CEO Lisa Su has come out and she's saying that there could still be double-digit growth coming out for AMD. And once again, we're going to likely see a great increase in their revenue. So that's some good news that's come out for them. And besides that, for tomorrow, we just have very, very minor data, just a couple of Fed speakers. But keep in mind that for Thursday or Friday, we might be looking for CPI data. As of right now, it's not going to come out unless the government reopens. I think things could change, but we'll see about that. Mizuho is also neutral right now. And the overall price price ratio for NIO is dropping just a little bit, which means that NIO is losing some strength. So overall, there is some risk for NIO to drop, but we're going to see what kind of reaction we get if the US government reopens tomorrow. As of right now, there's weakness right here. We're going to see if we reclaim 6.8. If we don't, this may continue to fall back down towards that 6.36 area. For SPY, however, we're looking more bullish. We're testing this overall resistance, and we're going to see if we could break through this trend line or not. Overall, we're just slowly grinding upwards, and we do favor the upwards direction. The QQQ is a bit in the red, but SPY is in the green, which shows that there's a bit of a difference between them. And as of right now, although we're range bound on the QQQ, we're going to see if this breaks out higher now. We might not come back down to fill this gap because if the government reopens, there could just be upside that comes. The market would continue to fly. So if SPY could hold above 682, we're going to likely continue to uptrend for 686 next. And we look a bit more bullish. On the IWM, as long as we don't lose 240, we're going to be favoring consolidation to push back up to 245. ES also has a slanted inverse head and shoulders. So long as we don't lose 68.26, we're going to be favoring a move back up towards 6,900 for some temporary upside. NQ also has an inverse head and shoulders. So long as we don't lose any major support, we're going to be favoring 25,900. Bitcoin's also doing a good job at holding up. As long as we don't lose 101,000, we could be looking for a bounce here back up towards 104,000. On Tesla, we dipped to fill this gap, and now we're trying to bounce here. I need to see Tesla reclaim 445 to bounce more. If not, we're still technically on a downtrend. Until we finally see this level break, we're still showing some weakness, and there might be consolidation tomorrow, but I'm hoping we do try to bounce. If we get an end to the government shutdown, this could also be resembling an inverse head and shoulders for a temporary move up to 450. Nvidia dipped quite a bit. We also have an inverse head and shoulders like pattern. We're going to see if we return to 188 to fill the gap, or if we bounce near 190. Could see a small dip before an attempt to bounce back up to 195. Apple is looking bullish. It's going to be favoring a push back up to 277. Other tickers such as Palantir look more bullish, favoring the gap fills for 198. AMD looks more bullish with an inverse head and shoulders here, could be looking for basically 254. Coinbase also has an inverse head and shoulders favoring 312 as our potential target. Amazon also has an inverse head and shoulders right here favoring 252. Meta is also favoring the inverse head and shoulders for a bounce. If we break 631, we're looking for a push to 656. And then Google's favoring upside for essentially 296, and then Microsoft's favoring a bounce for 511. So the majority of stocks are bouncing as the VIX is projecting. It looks like we're not coming back to fill this gap. And as the VIX looks more bearish, the market's favoring a nice bounce. The market looks like it wants to bounce with the government shutdown coming to an end. But NIO is technically on a downtrend. Unfortunately, NIO looks a little bit weak right now. Unless we hold above 6.8, we're going to likely bounce and possibly reject it, continue to fall for like 6.4, and we'll see what happens after that. With that being said, guys, I thank you all so much for listening. NIO is showing some weakness right now, but this could be another buying opportunity for earnings, which is going to be coming out next week. But I wish you all the best, and I thank you all for listening, and peace out.